It's chilly out today. Yes, sir.
Feeling okay?
Yep.
Good, good, good.
This cold weather, I feel more.
Yeah, it's about as cold as it gets today.
Yeah. Yeah, just a little.
Your mic on, Merle.
Okay. We'll call the Parks Commission meeting for February 18th to order. Approval of minutes. Chair would entertain a motion to do so.
Just as a matter of introduction for people that are out there, I'm Jim Van Dorn, Chairman of the Board, and so I'm filling in for one of the members because we have two members that aren't here and we need a quorum of three, so I'll be filling in.
So
So
we got three that are here.
three that are missing, sorry.
Yeah, yep. So
I'd move approval of the minutes of October 21st, 2024.
then, there you go. Any additions, corrections, or deletions of those minutes? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Morning, Chris. I didn't notice you come in so quietly that nobody hardly knew you. Okay, finance reports. Do you have them?
I'll be presenting those today by way of introduction. I'm Dan Zamolzak. I'm the finance director for the county. And the administrator and deputy administrator were both unable to attend today, so I'll be presenting the reports. The capital fund projects for the Medina restroom and electrical had no current year expenses. Those projects are, for all intents and purposes, completed, and you'll actually be asked to act on some requests to close those projects later in the meeting. On the next page, through January 23rd, we have our finance report for the Parks Fund. And currently we have no expenses to report, and we've received our quarterly allocation from the general fund as well as a payment for rent. So that was the only revenue received during this time frame, and no expenditures. Be happy to answer any questions if anybody had any.
Yes,
What's his name?
Dan, just
The last name?
Zamolzak.
I'm sorry, I don't hear very well.
It's Zamolzak.
How do you spell it?
Z-I-M as in Michael, O-L, another Z-A-K. I'll get you a business card too before you leave.
And your first name is,
Daniel.
Dan.
First name,
Dan
right?
Bergerman.
and your title
Finance director.
for the county.
Yes.
You turn it up for him, is it? Yeah, okay. So you know how.
Okay, we're parks updates.
Did we need, sorry.
Yes.
Do you need a motion on that? To place them on file?
Yeah,
I'd so move that we accept the finance reports and place them on file.
okay,
Support.
discussion. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Now we're down to parks updates. Parks monthly report.
Good morning.
Morning.
We haven't had a lot of action at the parks. due to the weather, obviously. This year, the focus will be on Gerber Park, where we're planning the grant-funded musical project that you'll be hearing more about in the months to come. We're just in the beginning stages of that process. We're also planning for the Story Walk project that we had talked about last year at some of our meetings, and it sounds like that's going to be a go for this spring as well. So we're pretty excited about that. And on the capital plan this year, we'll be getting metal roofing on the pavilions that are on the north side of the park. And we'll also be getting electrical run to the pavilions so that people can enjoy some more activities there. As Dan had stated earlier, the projects at Medina have been completed, and we'll see if we can get those closed here at the end of the meeting. Other than that, it's been pretty quiet this evening, so take any questions.
Think of it in a minute.
Your name is
Rob?
Rob?
Yes.
Them two guys got, if you can spell
Last name?
those two guys' names, you got it made.
Van Uenzi,
Okay,
common spelling.
Wow.
Okay. Any other updates? Ramsdale AIOSK.
So in your package, you'll see two graphics that we have planned for the kiosk going in at Ramsdale Park. This is part of the grant that was or the donation that was given to us by the Oaks Foundation. It's taken some time to get these graphics together and get them the way we wanted to with the maps. We worked with Visit Lenawee for that. But I think what you'll see here, the final product is what we're looking for. So I welcome any comments or concerns you have about the kiosk graphics.
So that's gonna be project for this next year,
Yes.
okay?
Question.
Yes,
So what am I looking at here, Rob? So the blue,
So the graphic at the right hand side is actually, these are maps that are on all trails.
okay,
So also at the kiosk, there'll be a little oh, I forget what they're called, QR code, I guess it is,
okay,
where you can scan it with your phone and it'll bring up the maps on your phone as well.
okay,
And then throughout the park, there will be trail markers with the corresponding colors on them, so you know which trail you're on. So
okay.
you can choose to walk the blue trail, the white trail, the red trail. And as you find your way along the trails, when you get to an intersection, it'll say blue going forward or, white to your left, whatever, just to make sure that people can easier navigate the park.
So this isn't just Ramsdale Park,
This is Ramsdale Park, yes.
the whole thing?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Wow,
Yeah, there's a lot of trails there.
yeah, okay.
You can go for hours.
So you got 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 miles of trails.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, wow.
so you're gonna burn it this spring?
We have not discussed that at this time.
Turn on. Hey, Ralph, turn on
Uh,
Dan's mic, would you? Is his mic on?
Yep.
Okay,
uh, the soil conservation people recommend burning every 3 years. It knocks down the American plants and encourages the growth of the native plants. And I think it's been more than 3 years now since it's been burned.
Yeah, we were able to go through this past year with the brush cat and take out a lot of the invasive species and take things down. I know that it's not quite as effective as burning, but it's a lot easier for us to negotiate at this point, without having to get all the permits and do all that. So, but, yeah, we did take care of a lot of the invasive species out there this year with the brush cat. Tim did a lot of work out there this year, so.
I've got a substantial native prairie planting at my farm that the government funds. And we have the Morenci Fire Department come out to burn it. And the chief at Morenci is very cooperative, very, very, very much in favor of it. So if Clayton or Hudson won't help you, let me know. I'll have the Morenci chief, he'll come and burn it for you.
Okay, I'll keep that in mind going forward. Thank you.
What's that?
I said, I'll keep that in mind going forward. Thank you.
Yeah, because, well, he brings out his crew and they use it as a training exercise. And,
What,
I mean, I think, I'm sure that he'd be pleased to go over it, even in Clayton's territory, and burn it if we asked him to. And if we gave him a little extra money for his fireman's fund,
what fire district's that in? Hudson?
Renzi.
No, this one. Ramsdale's not in Morenci. is it?
No. Do you know, Tim?
Would usually call Addison.
Can you use the mic? Can't hear you.
Sorry. Usually we'd have to get a hold of Addison when we burn it. We
Okay.
used to work with that fire chief up there.
Yeah, because we'd have to get a hold of them first before we could ever go to Morenci. Yeah.
Yes. I believe, isn't Dave Ungst chief over
Yep.
there now?
Yes,
Yes.
right. You know him.
Yeah. For a few years, sir.
There you go. Good point, Dan.
Well, we got a guy on our commission now that heads the Addison Fire Department. He's the chief, so maybe things will change a little bit. If they don't, well, we can always go back to the other guy. Okay? Sounds good. Next item is a request to close Medina Electrical.
So move.
Here,
So move.
for discussion on the motion. That's, we got a few dollars left in the fund. They'll put it back in, so. Any other discussion? All those in favor?
What's the motion about?
Motion is to close the Medina Electrical. Okay. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, motion carries. Item D is a request to close Medina restroom roof update. Chair would entertain a motion to
Are
do.
these closures just for the season or?
No, it closes that account,
What?
whatever's left. Whatever's left in the account goes back and we go over again, okay? Yep.
So move.
Dan, you want to support it?
Yeah,
Okay.
we're closing the Medina electrical account and the,
And also the restroom roof update. Okay. All those in favor signify by
Aye.
saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, motion carries. Updates and other business. Yes, Jim.
I have had a chance to look it in a little bit to the trust. I was working with Mark. And he's willing to come at a future meeting and discuss that. I mean, Dan, and I think Mark's a trustee with you on the trust, right?
yeah,
Yeah. So we went over, there were some questions in the past, Dan, about what the money can be spent for. And so Mark walked through that whole thing with me. We went through it. And the money has to be used for the purchase of more property. That's basically all it can be used for.
Yeah, yeah, and there's a 40 acres out of the middle of our park. And probably the north 30 acres is good farmland, but the south 10 acres butts up on our park. And if we owned that and could block off the drainage, it would be a beautiful wetland.
Okay. But right now,
But right now, the owner is a bit of an eccentric. He doesn't like the county and he doesn't like the park. And so there's we're waiting to deal with his estate.
I understand, right, right.
And there should be substantial funds available to acquire that strip. Would really doll up our park.
Right.
In the meantime, there's the money is in the trust and the money is invested and we earn interest, which goes back into the fund. But every year we have to file a tax return and pay state and federal tax. And we pay the accountant, but the balance goes back into the account and we're just waiting.
Just waiting. Okay. Right. Because the reason was, Dan, when you weren't here, the question came up from some of the commissioners, whether it could be used for any equipment or anything else. Well, my understanding now, and you're here, that the trust officers, right now, it's set up just to purchase property. It's not set up to use it for anything else.
That's correct.
Okay.
And
So when the weather's a little warmer and when Mark has a moment,
Right.
if we make them two things get together, why he's gonna come in and kind
Right.
of go through it.
And he and Dan will go through the whole thing with
Sure.
with all of us. Right.
So any other public comment? If there's no other business to come before this committee, Chair would entertain a motion to adjourn.
Oh,
sport.
Discussion. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
I.
I
Opposed? Motion carries.